Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Ahiba and I'm so glad you took some time out of your day to watch my video. I'm always excited to share with you, but today I'm very excited because I am going to show you a quick and easy way to color with thread while filling up large areas in no time and doing much less work with your hands. Today, I'll be showing you a couple of cards using this technique. It's fun, it's easy, and it's also kid-friendly. As you can see from the number of cards, I got a bit carried away, but I was having a lot of fun making them because they're super easy to make. Remember, all the measurements and information on supplies used are on my blog, and the link to my blog is in the description. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you find it helpful. So let's get started. My first card was what started it all. I had a roll of waste thread from projects I had done in the past and I was thinking of a way to use it. So I decided to try a shaker. The space just easily fills up with color and I really had fun discovering that I could use this technique to fill in my die cut windows. So now I've cut a circle window into a square card panel and I'm adding foam tape around the corners just as you would in a shaker card in order to seal in all the thread to prevent any of it from falling out. This is my roll of waste thread. As you can see, there is no real color combination. It's really just threads I've been using and had left over. I cut them into small pieces, filled up the entire window, and now I'm removing the release tape from the release backing, from the foam tape, and covering the back with some scrap cardstock that I have. And really that's it. Very quick, very simple, and I have a colored background that I can add my sentiment to or any other images. So now I am adding this sentiment, You and Me, from a sticker set from American Crafts, definitely will be linked. And I'm also adding this frame that I cut from gold foil paper using the Essentials by Ellen Essentials Shapes circle dies. I just added that with a bit of silicone glue. I find the silicone glue holds to the acetate very well. It doesn't smell very nice, but you can always wear a mask to protect yourself and use it in a ventilated area. So that is the finished card. I am loving the interest. It looks very good. I love it. So yeah, on to the second card. This shows how I use the colors separately. I'm using dies from scrapbook.com, Erin Lee Creative, and Ellen Hudson. And I'll be placing the thread behind the acetate as I did before, but this time I'll be doing it much more intentionally. So I'm wrapping each color around 4 of my fingers multiple times until I have a thick enough loop. The thicker the loop is, the more pieces you will have after cutting, so always do more than less. However, I found that don't make the loops too thick. Just do them, if you want to get thicker, more thread, just do it in separate loops of a moderate size because the thread tends to stick together. So when you do it too large, you have lots of thread clumping together and it's harder to separate them. So it's better to do the loop in a moderate size, but do multiples of it. Right? So I'm just rolling each color into loops and I'm gonna cut them into small pieces into separate containers. You can also just cut them into piles. You don't need all these cups, but it was easier for me to use the cups. And it's just what I thought of at the moment. Right, so cutting goes really quickly, and it's so fun to see all the little pieces separated into their respective cups. And now it's time for the fun part. So I have my panel that I cut the floral die into twice, and I'm attaching a piece of acetate to the back. I'm also adhering an oval window, a gray oval window, to the front using foam tape. And I'll be adding a white oval window as well in the end. Again, like you would in a shaker, I'm adding a seal to the back edges of the acetate piece to ensure all my thread fits in there and doesn't leak out. Now I'm just placing the thread into specific areas to give kind of a, abstract kind of coloring vibe. I fill up all the spaces as best as possible, and then I use my tweezer to take the thread away from the edges before I take off the release paper. And then add a panel to the back to seal everything in, and that's it. I'm adding some Nuvo drops. This is a really fun die because it pierces the points where you need to add the Nuvo drop for you, so it acts as a guide. And it ends up being really pretty. So I'm just adding the white on top of the gray. I'm going to add it in it's slightly smaller, so I'm adding it in an offset manner so that I get a little gray shadow around the oval. I've cut the shine die from Erin Lee Creative out of foam, glitter foam, black glitter foam. Now, I don't know where this secret was hiding, but why didn't I know that foam was such a great way to add dimension to your sentiments? I don't think I'll be stacking sentiments anymore from cardstock. I think I'll be using foam because it was really quick. It's just one cut, and I had all the dimension I needed in my sentiment. So you should try it. I stamped this stamp onto orange cardstock. It's from scrapbook.com, and it was a gift from Mona Toth. Thank you, Mona. It has some really cute sentiments, and so I'm adhering it to the front of the card. Along with my foam die cut, which I am so in love with. And I'm cutting off the excess. And that's basically it. That is the card, guys. Pretty easy to color all those spaces. I also made that card, but let's move on. Yeah, so that's the finished card. I just love the vibrant colors. It really shows through, and I love how just happy it looks. So on to the last card that I'll be showing. I have the same sentiments, Sunshiny Day from scrapbook.com. and I'm going to stamp all the sentiments at once onto a piece of black cardstock that I've already prepped with that I'm prepping with powder, right, to prevent any embossing powder from going where I don't want it to go. I use a lot of powder because I find that's what gives me the best result. And now I'm adding my sentiment, stamping my sentiments, adding the white embossing powder, and I heat emboss them. So those are my final products, my sentiment strips. They didn't all come out really well, but I got a few to use. Next time I won't stamp them all at once. So in this card, I wanted to use the thread to color in specific places or spaces. Based on the design of the card, you can see that the window would be divided into different parts, and you can actually use foam tape to segregate each window and each color distinctly so that each window is a specific color. I didn't do that to all the windows on this card, but you definitely can if you're doing a card of this nature. You can add foam tape along all the ridges and you will get you'll be able to place different colors into different areas more easily. So here I'm adding the foam tape just around the sun because I want the sun to be a different color, and I'm filling it with orange thread. Because it's such a small space, I'm using my tweezer much more, and then I'm adding the remainder of the thread to the backing. I'm squeezing the thread together to kind of ensure that the gaps are filled. And if you need more thread, it's pretty easy, just roll and cut. You can also press the thread flat as well. Look at that texture. Oh my gosh, love it. So after it's all filled, I wish I could get a card that looks like this, all fuzzy, right? But no, that's the back. So after it's all filled, I use glue and place the card base on. Now you could use foam tape, and nothing's wrong if you do. The glue is just really quick, and it works because the thread is compressible. You can just place the front of the card onto the base without much dimension because the thread will flatten anyway. So I'm adding my sentiment, and this is my finished card. I love it. Just the little pieces of thread. I think it's a cool look. So this card that you're seeing now, you can find that video over on my Instagram. I'll post it soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you try this technique, and I hope you found it interesting or fun. No, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you did like the video, please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Have a great day. Bye.